Hello, welcome to my Enhancement 5 video. So I'm just going to go over the objectives. Objective 1 is to make sure that car classification and add new vehicle are valid HTML. Okay. Classification HTML is valid, and the add vehicle should also be valid. So next part is the functions.php. It uses on the my library for the navigation list. So I did that. It's here. The other functions are also here for the password and the check email. The build navigation is the function I used to create a navigation list. And it's available on the accounts controller. It's right here. Calls the build navigation function and the functions PHP file in the library. And the vehicle controller, it's also here. Nav list equals build navigation. So I think it works. I'm sure it works. So if you go to the My Account, the navigation list works. If you go to the vehicle, works on vehicle management, add car classification, and add vehicle. So that works. PHP validation should be available for both the add vehicle and so if you're missing something, it provides the number 3 is there because I'm just testing and making sure that the classification ID is being passed properly. I'll show you why later. I think that's good. So for the HTML validation, I went with the invalid for CSS. So it's a red or green background depending if it's valid or not, and an image that looks like a X mark and a check mark. So it looks like this. So for example, I think the registration for Toyota, if it's blank, because it's a text field, there should be a text on the form element. If there's none, it's an error. So test, it's good. Same here, if there's no number, any number is a correct input. But I think the registration part says it shows the validation forms better in HTML because, for example, an email, if you put a non-email text, it shows an error until you put in a valid email. So I added that HTML validation on all elements. But for the car add classification and the add vehicle, the validation is more on if there's anything typed on the form rather than what type is it. Because any type of text is valid. So I added the filter input functions also on the vehicle controller. For classification, since it's an integer, from what I searched, it should be filter valid int. Same for the price and the stock. The rest are string, so it's filter sanitized string. Yeah. I'll add that too. It's missing. Sorry. I'll add it real quick. Just make sure that that works. That works. Test. Bentley. We're bad with cars. Sorry. That works. So that part works. Missing data for new vehicle successful selected. So this part is the sticky. This is where I'm having problems because all of the sticky items work except the car classification. So if I save this now, um, everything is still there except the car classifications. It goes back to default. So that's why I was checking if it's passing the classification ID because the way my code is set up, I'm not sure why it's not working. I copied the same exact code on the example, but it doesn't work. So I'm stuck with that. So I think that's a point deduction, but all of the sticky elements work. So if I remove price, put red, and submit. So as you see, all the fields are sticking except the car classification field. So that's it for my presentation. I know I'm missing one sticky element for the car classification, but I believe all of the other website requirements are met for this week's objective. Thank you and have a great day.